to Ladies Kickin' Assets. We are so excited that you're here with us. Our goal is to empower women with the financial education they need to live the lives they want. My name is Courtney Moeller, and this is Robin Binkley. We are your co-hosts. So we are not financial advisors. This is for educational purposes only, but the content is just fantastic. We have amazing speakers coming. And so make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you get notified for our future episodes that are coming. So Robin, take it away. Let's talk a little bit about what we are trying to accomplish and what our whole goals and our mission and our values are through starting this podcast.
Yes. So just to kind of hit on our mission, Courtney and I have both recognized how few women are really represented in many of our mastermind groups, meetups, in different towns and cities where you go to different educational weekend types of things on real estate and investing in all different sorts of asset classes. So we both recognized this and felt like, we have been so blessed and we have learned so much, and honestly, a short window of time, and you'll learn a little bit about us, that we wanted to pour back into the lives of women, busy women, moms, women of all areas. We want to share with you educational content so that you can look at where you are and make some choices and make some decisions and take action and live the life that you dream. And one of the things that we've learned and heard repeatedly is dream big, bigger than you ever thought possible, because when you do, it will come into play. So that's really in a nutshell about our mission. So we are going to be bringing experts in the areas of all these different asset classes, but we just want to share with you in very short versions because we're busy women. We don't want to do 1 hour podcast every week. It gets really difficult. So our goal is to have sessions that are no longer than 30 minutes every 2 weeks, where we have a YouTube channel and make it available for you at your leisure. And so we just ask that you'd subscribe to our channel. We ask that you would watch us, spread the word. The more women, and honestly, it doesn't have to be just women that are watching our podcast. We love all folks, but the reason why we set this up is because we saw women were
well, and they're really wanting the information. The more women that I talk to, women statistically are better investors than men, but they generally do not participate in any of the actual investing for their families. And so I think one of the things that has really, kind of really sprung some life into me here a few years ago is when I figured out that, we've always done the traditional, stocks, 401k, the traditional investing that we're taught because we are not given a financial education as we grow up. And when I learned that, oh my gosh, I can take that same amount of money I was going to put over here and I can invest in an apartment complex, or I can invest in whatever asset you want to throw out there, storage, there's so many, and get a passive income from it, get huge tax advantages to where I am now getting tax deductions and tax benefits where you actually legally can get your tax payment down to zero at the end of the year. I was totally mind blown. I had no idea that there were all of these different strategies and things. So that's something that we really want to focus on, teaching all of the different ways that you can invest, how you can strategize, how you can leverage one asset to attain another asset, which is really how your wealth just explodes and grows exponentially. And then how to take advantage of those taxes, at the end of the year. So I have learned so much. And, I thought I was doing things right. And then I figured out, wow, there really actually is a better way. And then we tried to figure out, why is this not being poured out? I feel like it should be in high schools. Our kids should be learning this. So now I'm teaching my kids, my youngest one's 13, my oldest one's 27. I am teaching my kids all of these things so that I can make sure to send them on the right path from the get-go.
Yeah. Talking about financial education for our families, it's definitely not taught in school. It's not taught in college. It's really not. And so it's really a lot of life experience and the folks that you surround yourself with, the books that you read, and all of those things. But Courtney, share a little bit just about your journey. You mentioned about your children, but kind of, you touched on what you did traditionally in the past, and those things are not wrong. It's just that you can multiply that in a shorter window of time, and how you've done that.
So I have been in every class, we've gone through a lot. At one point in time, I was a single mom. I had 2 young kids and we were living paycheck to paycheck. I was actually in the Navy at the time. And so I didn't really have a lot of money then to save, and actually saved quite a bit. That kind of what started me on my initial journey was I was sent over to the Persian Gulf in 2003, and I saved a significant amount of money while I was gone. And that is kind of where I was like, okay, I really hated having to go buy 49-cent hamburgers, to feed my kids, because that was all we could afford. And that's really what kind of sent me on a completely different path. I didn't like not knowing where, that my paycheck wasn't going to cover everything that we needed. And so that was really, really difficult. And so that led me to, go and get my real estate license. And I sold real estate for 10 years. And that was fantastic. Not to sit here and toot my own horn, but I was really good at it. It really fulfilled me to help other people make their dreams of owning homes, a reality. And so I loved it, but it consumed so much time and I didn't scale it correctly. I should have brought in other people to help, but it took so much time, and it took away from the time that I had with my family. And to me, true wealth is having the money to do what you want to do, but also having the time that you want to spend with your family, because, you don't ever get that time back. It's so precious, and you're never going to get back those soccer games. You're never going to get back the time when your kids first started walking, and birthdays and all of those things. And that's really, for me, is what is so important in my life and where I want to spend my time. Mm-hmm. So, I started investing in the stock market and, some other traditional so oil and gas. I have a really big oil and gas background. And so I started making those investments, but then I was really stupid and I spent too much money. I was spending too much and I did that completely wrong. So then I had to start over again. So that is where I came in and figured out how I can invest in real estate. I can invest in precious metals. And now, I'm diversified in a lot of different assets. I've got, passive income coming in every month. So I just am collecting it out of the mailbox. Mailbox money is the best. And so I'm literally just now strategically using those investments to invest in other investments and leveraging them against each other to grow what I have. And that has been what has really made the biggest difference for me in my life, is learning how to do that, learning how, first of all, who to invest with, because that's really important. And that's where getting out and going to these meetings and going to these conferences, you get to know people and you get to learn, who is really good at doing apartments, who's really good in storage. You learn who's good in these different fields. And so you can invest with them, and then you can learn to syndicate, which is what I am doing now. So I invest with some people and then I am syndicating my own deals. So it's been a fantastic journey. I'm really excited about it. I have got big, huge, hairy, audacious goals that are when I sat down at the beginning of the year and listed this stuff out, I thought, oh my gosh, am I crazy for even setting these goals? And we can get into some of those later and the things that I've set, but it's been such an amazing journey. And to sit back and actually take a look at the time that I have put into learning how to do this and meeting people, and to see it actually come to fruition, is probably one of the most rewarding things that I have ever done in my life. And it's incredible. And it just, I don't have a financial background. I didn't go to school for business. It's just something I plugged in. I took the time to get educated and applied it. And it has been incredible. It's been an incredible journey.
Thanks, Courtney. I just want to make sure you share with our viewers. Your journey has been a long journey, but your actual concentrated investment window has been very short, and your syndication business has been very short. So how long have you been spending time doing that?
So I have really dedicated probably the last like 2.5 to 3 years on investing. And, I really started digging into, I've had oil and gas wells for probably 10 years now. So we have continued doing, exploration, but I didn't really take the time to really expand that. We were drilling and that was it. But about been about 2.5 years is when I really started actively. I didn't want a financial advisor, and I started actively deploying my money on my own without the help of anybody else. I started researching and figuring things out. And then, Kara Helms, one of our good friends, asked me to come and speak at their investor summit, which is where I met so many other people, so many other like-minded people. And that's when I learned how to syndicate. And so, which has taken me on it's just changed things even dramatically from there. So not very long. I've only been a syndicator for about a year, and actually my own investing for myself for about 2.5 years.
Yeah. So that's been the X factor in your life, which has been huge. And so we certainly will dive into more of that on other episodes. Well, let me share just a little bit about my journey real quickly. I live in Houston, Texas, and my husband has an engineering firm here, and I ran nursing homes for 24 years. So we both had very lucrative jobs, if you will, but they were highly demanding jobs and careers. And we have 3 adult children who were, in our younger years, all 3 busy and involved in all different things. And so you kind of, you run through the motions of going to work every day. And then there's stuff that you've got to do in the evening at home. And then you've got to be a mom and a wife, and then involved in any other extracurriculars with, church.
Girl, I will be literally in the Chick-fil-A line picking up kids from dinner because we just left baseball practice, and I'm trying to hit this inner circle meeting, and I'm listening to it with headphones in the drive-through line.
Completely can relate. And I think so many of our viewers can. We're so busy, and I cannot stand using the word busy, but it's the truth. There are some commitments that we have that we just can't shake. And so for about 20 years, my husband and I had a real passion for real estate, and we did a lot of reading, a lot of learning. So our education on the subject matter really began many, many years ago, but we did not really begin taking action on that education until about 7 years ago. And that process was, we started out with some single family homes. My husband syndicated a storage facility, and we had a couple of those that we've recently divested. He, with his business partner, started buying some real estate under the businesses that we have here across Texas. And that moved into understanding what syndication was. And so I had never even heard that word until 2 years ago. And I thought, what is that?
Right.
And that's really using other people's money for investments with limited partners and general partners. And you're able to scale so much faster, and the momentum is just exponential, but you're really able to bless so many people in so many ways financially. And so that's where we have really shifted our focus, is into syndicating. And we've also kind of shifted our thought too, we talked about what is wealth. For us at this stage of the game, wealth for us is generational wealth, what goes into perpetuity beyond my direct children, my grandkids that I've not met yet, and beyond. But wealth too is the people that are in your life and who you're surrounding yourself with. And so we've made a concerted effort to seek out like-minded individuals who have a lot of the same goals that we do with education, and just bettering yourself personally, but also being a better individual in your community and giving back and being involved in some philanthropic types of opportunities. And, it's what you read and feed your mind, which we've spent a lot of time working on. And I have not been an avid reader, I will confess it,
Me either, girl.
Really painful for me. But I have actually,
audiobooks are your friends.
So much better for me, because I just like the act of sitting down and flipping pages. I don't enjoy.
See, I go back and
I'll,
forth. Like I'll do really good for a few months and then I'm like, I don't want to do it. So now my thing is audiobooks while I walk. Because then I'm getting two things done at once.
Yes. So, but if I can write in the book and school notes, I do really well. So anyway, these are all things that over time, but I will tell you financially, but I came from a middle class family. If we had a little bit of savings, that was really about it. So Brett and I graduated. We thought we need to get degrees and we need to have, well-paying jobs that pay you a bonus at the end of the year. You kill yourself for a bonus. Our investments were in our 401k, a little bit in the stock market, and maybe a little tiny nest egg in the bank. And that's what we thought would be great. And then we had created this lifestyle, and it's like, you know what, your 401k and your little bitty investments over sitting in Charles Schwab are not going to cut it.
No, and everything that you just said, girl, everything you just said is what we learned about in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, from Robert Kiyosaki. It is the freaking rat race. We are taught to go to school, get good grades, fight to get into college, spend a crap ton of money, accumulating student debt to graduate, to go out and get a job, put money in your 401k, as it freaking the purchasing power of your dollar continues to go down, and the returns on that are not enough to beat inflation is what I'm trying to say. And then you're battling that job to climb that corporate ladder. So it's this rat race. You get into this rat race, and that is what we are taught to do. And it's all wrong. And there's a better way.
There is. And so that is the purpose of our vodcast. And we, want to also create a community, certainly, of like-minded individuals. We're certainly focusing on women, but this is really a community of men, women. It doesn't matter your age bracket or your socioeconomic position in life. You too can make change, take information, put it to heart, commit it, declare it, and be a mover and a shaker. And it can happen, and it can happen for all of us. I want to make sure that we also speak to the fact that, if you've got questions as you're watching our vodcast, make sure you send your questions to us. If there's subject matter that we're talking about that you'd like us to dive deeper into, or maybe we weren't real clear on, please make sure that you notate that as well. This is a collaboration, and we're just excited about where this is going to go this year, and the lives that we can pour into. And, we're available, and just want to make sure that we've given back, because we've both been blessed with so much in such a short window of time that we can think of no other way than to give that information back to the community. It feels like it's this big secret, because nobody really knows about it. And so we want to make sure that we share that with open arms.
Yes, because we both come from a place of abundance. I wake up every morning and I thank God for everything that we have. We're so fortunate, and I want to spread as much information and share as much as I can with as many people so that we can impose as much change as we can in everybody else's lives. So there is room out there for everybody to be successful and to go where they want to go.
There is a lot of room, and there's a lot of deals to be had, and there's a lot of opportunities to get into, and they're everywhere. You've just got to have the eyes to see them and take the scales off. And so that really is, our mission in this matter. So having said all that, we want to make sure we share with you how to find us, where to begin watching our series that we're doing. We are on YouTube, and our show is going to be every 2 weeks. We're going to be having episodes that are about 30 minutes in length, not much longer than that. We feel like every woman and individual has 30 minutes in their time somewhere that you can squeeze in.
Yes. So that should be super easy. And, sometimes, like I said, I will be sitting in the parking lot. Last night I was on my crypto mastermind call, and I was literally having to keep I kept muting because I was cooking dinner while I was on that call.
We have to do that. We have to do that because we're busy people.
Super multitaskers.
Yes. Yes, yes.
And so, yes, but thank you so much. Like I said, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes. And then, you can comment on our videos if you've got questions, or you can go to ladieskickinassets.com and shoot us an email if you've got questions or if you want to set up time with us. So we hope you all have an amazing day, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.